the linear servo, which is connected down through the crossbeam into the receiver, and this is one of the foils. Installation is pretty easy. Just put it up, hook it into the rod, put a nice piece of doweling in, and put a rubber grommet on the friction, and there you have it. That's it done. Background here of the foil. Using this transmitter, I'm using this control here, and as you can see, this rotates and adjusts the angle. So now I have maximum lift coming from the foil, and now I reduce it as far as I can. The throw on this servo is not as big as the foil case, so I have to make a decision whether I'm at the back or at the front of the case, and for today's sailing I'm at the back to give me more lift, and that's how you see it works. That's the maximum speed it works at, so I only set it up, I don't adjust it for gusts. Okay.
For the sailing today I had two different foils on the boat. The port foil has a pretty much parallel section down to the tip, whilst the starboard foil has more taper towards the tip, and so having less lift area. I was curious to see if there was any different behaviour from the two foils. There were two capsizes. Both were predictable, as the boat was starting to dance around on tiptoes on its lee foil. And this is always a danger sign, but it's good fun to see how long you can keep the boat upright. We made the rudder on this boat a fraction shorter, and just before the first capsize you can see that the T-foil is only just under the surface of the water, and perhaps we'd made this rudder a fraction too short. Both capsizes occurred with the taller number 3 rig on the boat. When the wind increased and I moved down to the number 4 rig, there was never any risk of a capsize. I used 3 rigs during the day. Started with the number 3, went up to number 2 briefly around lunchtime when the wind eased, and then back to number 3, and finally ended up with number 4. When the wind is strong enough for number 3 or smaller, I know I'm going to have fun, since the centre of effort of these rigs is significantly lower than the number 1 or number 2 rigs. And this makes foiling a lot easier, as the lateral loads on the foils are less. Whilst both foils gave me good long runs during the day, as you can see in this video, there was a noticeable difference in boat behaviour. You will notice that during this video, there are a number of instances when the boat is foiling on port tack, and the boat just slides off the foils and does a gradual nosedive. Nothing dramatic, it's not tripping up, but the foil simply loses lift, and at the moment I have no idea why this is happening. Obviously the foil shape is different compared to the port foil, but we shape the foils in the same fashion. All I can think of at the moment is that maybe the tapered foil needs to be thinner towards the tip. In contrast, the port foil continues to give too much lift when heeled, resulting in the bows pointing towards the skies on more than one occasion. So perhaps we are homing in on the right foil shape. We need to continue to experiment with the tapered foil concept, but perhaps make it not quite so tapered. In these winds you have no time to fiddle with settings other than steering and sails. If the boat's foiling and you start playing around with the foil angle or rudder rake and getting distracted, the chances of a capsize are high. So I was setting up the foils and T-foil angle for the run and then seeing what happened. Quite a satisfying sail all in all, and a lot of pointers for further improvement. The onboard footage of the starboard foil is quite interesting. It is not easy to attach a video camera to capture the foils in action, and it took a lot of electrical insulation tape wrapped around the camera and the bow of the main hull to get the required result. You will notice that the foils are basically acting as skis in the water, as opposed to airplane wings that generate lift from aerodynamic lift. So we have quite a bit of spray coming from behind the foil. It is for this reason that I want to be able to lift the stern of the boat once it is foiling to reduce the ski effect and hence the spray and hence the drag. That's our plan at any rate.